Melody here. You might know me as ApplePie Movement. In today's interview with Mindy Dawn, we discuss how she has become a visual activist for the LGBTQ community, fighting for equity in the state of Georgia. So grab a piece of pie. Come on, join our conversation.
So how could you encourage some of the queer kids watching today to embrace themselves, to love themselves, and to come out to themselves as who they are?
I feel like, for me, understanding yourself artistically is critical. I mean, sometimes when I'm in a place where I don't know where I am, and I'm feeling very unclear, and I'm feeling dark, and I might be feeling hurt, or I might be feeling happy, but there's something in the way. In times like that, I really will try to sit with myself, and actually I'll write stuff. I have journals of things that I've written that I've not read, since I actually wrote them. But just taking that space to put it down and to see that it's real and to see that it's valid. And you're not a writer, and maybe it's a visual thing. It's like you build a Pinterest board or whatever it is, but to just find a way to manifest it and see it so it's actually real and tangible, and then you can address it. And really look at the closets that you have in your life and try to figure out how you can live your life with as few of those closets as you can. I mean, I think to protect ourselves in this world, there are certain areas where I started getting really uncomfortable starts in this conversation. So there are certain things that there's good reason to keep it closer to your chest in that moment, because in the course of an interview or a tweet or an Instagram post or a Facebook post, you don't know the zillions of different ways that somebody might hear what you're saying. And never telling anybody that they should live my life. I'm telling people that they should figure out what their life is. And at the end of the day, if you don't feel light within yourself, then I don't really, for me, that's not living in this world. I believe in finding my lights and sharing those lights, and it's the most beautiful in me when my light connects with somebody else's light.
So what are these closets that you mentioned earlier in this conversation that people can come out of?
It's a lot of different things. So I remember I was talking about closets with a member of Megan's family, and he was talking about how it was really hard for him to come out of the cancer closet. So to be able to actively talk about having cancer, and mental illness, there's a stigma around that, and so people keep that in the closet. I have friends that they don't know how their spouse votes because they feel like that is potentially a closet door that will muddle everything up. So there are so many things, things that you feel, if you reveal it to somebody, it will change the way they feel about you. But at the end of the day, if it changes the way that they feel about you, are they really feeling that way about you? They're feeling that way about somebody that you're selling to them. And not everybody's going to like me. I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But the people who drink my tea, they're going to get a kick out of it.
So is that the key, to be authentic and to not be selling yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at my Instagram statistics. I saw that I had a significant number of ads this past week, and I was really excited about that. But then I saw 7 people unfollowed me, and for a second I thought, what did I do that made 7 people unfollow me? And then I realized maybe I'm not their cup of tea. But if me being me in this world is making somebody uncomfortable, then you don't have to pay attention to me. That's fine. You can unfollow me. That's absolutely fine. follow people who spark joy for you. Like, you know, if I'm, what's her name, Maria Kondo, who I don't watch her show, but I love the concept of like spark. One of my friends was telling me, you know, so when you get a new item of clothing, do you give, you know, do you give something away? Like, no, stuff sparks joy. It still sparks joy. Like, you know, I've got a vast collection of clothing. It's not just a closet. It's like, it's a collection where like there's emotional connections I have to various pieces of clothing because of where I was, you know, like of events that I associate with them. And they find their way back into, you know, an outfit at some point or other. So, and you got to know what your joy is. You've got to figure out how to connect it. And I'm not, you know, like, it's not always going to be me. And also there may be a time for me in your life, and then maybe you outgrow me, or maybe you realize that your journey takes you in a different path. It's not personal.
That's something that I think a lot of people do need to get over is taking everything personally, because you're so right. So many times in interaction that we have with somebody, that we share with somebody, it has nothing to do with us and everything to do with some organic experience of going. Everything that you know and you studied, that you've lived, what would you say as a society, what steps can we take to move forward to create a more inclusive future for our species?
We're all going to prejudge a situation. We do it. And it's not just people's perception of LGBTQ people in this world. It's how we perceive that, it's how we think that we are going to be perceived sometimes by certain other communities. And it's okay to have that thought for a moment, but leave a huge swath of space to be proven wrong. There's nothing more wonderful than thinking that you're about to walk into a lion's den and realize that you've walked into a community. And I've had that happen to me any number of times, where I've been fearful for the location that I'm going, the attendees that might be in a certain space, and so I have my feelers up for a minute, and then as I start interacting and having some, you know, like, it's a mutual exchange. We have to really listen to one another. And there's not a lot of that right now. There's a lot of talking over each other. There's a lot of yelling over one another. There's a lot of, you said this one thing, you're shut down to me, you're dead to me. I'm going to unsubscribe, I'm going to cancel, I'm going to whatever. Life is not about, life cannot be defined in 280 characters. You have to give it the space and the breath to be something bigger. And it's not going to happen if you shut down every time you walk into a situation. So, like, you know, it comes back to that curiosity and that open-heartedness.
So in a way, living life open to all outcomes and not attached to any one specified.
Yeah, I always love being proven wrong. I love going into a situation and having my mind open to something absolutely new and fresh.
What is a situation or example of that happening recently?
Well, you know, and I was thinking about, like, you know, in this conversation, like, I remember when I went to that South by Southwest panel, and that was the first year that Anita hosted it, and now it's a regular thing, it seems, at South by Southwest. I thought that was just going to a panel, a bunch of queer people were going to be talking about queer fashion, but understanding how visual activism exists in this world, like how it was a part of the civil rights movement, how it affects change in this world. That single piece that you know, I fully expected it was going to be giving me new ideas of places I can shop and things that I can do and whatnot. But understanding the importance of what it was that I was doing, it opened me up in ways that have absolutely evolved me into the person I am today.
It's amazing how fashion, most people would think, oh, you're a fashionista, you know, you like this or that. How it can really change a soul, because I can see the emotion in your eyes. I can see how deeply moved and touched you were by calling yourself a visual activist. And in truth, that's what you are to all of the queer kids who watch you. And it's also the journey of embracing your own soul. Your closet is your biography, if you think about it. You know, it's an archive.
It's a great statement. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
I mean, I'm a little bit fashionista too, but I mean, I just like clothes, and you know, most people would just think, oh, she's a femme. So you know, my closet has a different type of meaning to me probably than you, but it's beautiful how just in everyday living, when you wake up and you get dressed and you walk out that door, you are deciding to live an inclusive life that is opening up the world around you, the perceptions of the people around you, and allowing a space for queer kids to see a positive role model so they can embrace themselves and accept themselves, and hopefully see a way and a future and hope that would cause them to not feel that they need to end their life if they're rejected by their family or their friends. It's a beautiful service that you're offering.
Thank you.
So everybody, thank you so much for joining us for another ApplePie Table Talk. We'll look forward to seeing you again. Thank you, Mindy, for being our guest. It was great getting to know you and spend some time together. We'll look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you, Melody. Had a great time.